It was a Friday evening, I always remember it. I just got up, I was inside Cork doing the job, and I was walking up the hill with tools in hand, and next to it just blacked out. And came around, and was an ambulance. I woke up, and the man says to me, "Bob, is your heart alive?" I was told inside that my heart stopped. And all I remember is being jolted. It was brought back to life. For that 2 weeks, I was so stressed and lost all my hair. If I wasn't as fit as I was, I would have died. That 3 months was hell. Couldn't get out of bed. I don't know, because I was unconscious. I didn't see no white light last time, but I didn't see nothing, it was just blank. It was frightening. I was depressed. I was severely depressed.
Hello and welcome to a little bit of wellness. I'm joined here by my guest, and thankfully I can call a friend, Trevor Horan. Trevor, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So, let's get cracking straight into it. Fitness, massive part of your daily life. Can you tell me about that journey and how it started?
Well, I'm at it for the last 35 years. I'm showing my age. What started was I was above my grandmother's, and there was a gym around the corner called Jimmy Mahoney's. It was a real hardcore gym. No, it's not like the gyms of today where you have clean carpets, music, and all that kind of stuff. This was dirty carpets, smell of cat's piss.
Typical boxing gym.
Boxing gym, rusty weights, holes in the roofs, so if it started raining, you had to divide one spot to, if you were doing a bit of weight, you had to divide that spot. There was no women allowed at that time in the gym.
Really?
But there was posters on the wall of women. Do you know the ones in Charlie's Angels? There was one, but there was no women allowed. But the owner used to bring in women at night to train himself. So it was, I don't know what he was at.
A bit controversial.
Yes, a bit controversial. So it's his way. So I remember when my dad bring me up, I was about 15, 16. And there was these 4 or 5 guys up there, massive guys now. One guy was Mr. Ireland, at the time he was going for Mr. Ireland. So I knew nothing about weights, I was playing football, and he says, "Go in there, do a bench." This guy, he was 19 stone, ripped, big, roaring at me to do bench press. I couldn't lift my arms for 3 or 4 days. That's the first memory I have of doing weights. And after that, I stayed there for a few years. And what happened then was I flicked off my knee. I got a kick one day in the knee, and I fucked up my cruciate ligament. Went for physio about 3-4 months, and went back playing football. Too early. Went for a ball again and came down on it again. No, it's not like today. Today is, the science behind it today.
Yeah.
You rest up a knee injury for 1 or 2 years till you're fully back. But back then, I don't think they had a clue. They had the science that they had then. So I'm back into bodybuilding again when I was about 18. When my knee happened to me, I'm back into weightlifting again, and I trained up there for about 2 years until one day I was up there. I rolled the weight along to pass it on to the mate of mine, and the weight rolled onto the side and broke a mirror. Massive mirror was to be about 6-7 foot high. The owner looked at me and I said, "Look, I replaced it, but my name was blackened after that."
Yeah.
So I left, and I went up to a gym in the complex. When I was about 2021. I was 11 stone when I was 18, and when I was 26, before I did a competition, I ended up about 17.5 stone.
Mainly muscle.
No steroids.
Get that in there.
Just to let you know, I never taken any steroids in my life, right? They're the worst thing. It's like throwing a dice. You don't know what you're going to get.
Yeah.
I did take creatine, I did take protein, I did look after my diet. But I had 3-4 guys around me that I was training with. Actually, one guy was Mr. Ireland in a bench press competition. He was world champion, and he was guided. I was guided by him, so that's why my weight went up. I did a bench press competition, I did a bodybuilding competition, and I did 2 competitions. I was coming in about 17 stone at the time. Then my oldest was born Leah, and I used to be training 2-3 hours a day. And when she was born, that all changed.
Yeah, it's amazing. Like they talk about father time. And it's just,
Priorities had to change. I could barely get 45 to 50 minutes in now if I can. So that was my kind of journey with the weightlifting. Yeah, it was good. As I say, it is standing to me at the moment now because, as I say, I'm 46 in 2 weeks' time. So yeah, I'm showing my age, and it has benefited to me because I say I can do most things that a 21-year-old can do still. And my missus thinks I act like a 15-year-old, but that's another story.
I can vouch for that.
I kept up my fitness levels. I kept up my bit of bodybuilding. So yeah, that's my kind of story with the weights.
Exactly, and like you were saying there, that Mr. Arnold, that was the thing back then. It was all about bodybuilding. That was the only image in gyms.
Yeah.
It was proper like that. Like in recent years, how do you feel that the industry has changed in that way?
The industry's changed in a way where it's all image now, right? It's all about the brands. It's all about the clothes. It's all about the hair, the makeup. I know for women. At the end of the day, how it's changed, it's gone more softer. You know, I don't think people have trained hard enough now these days.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot got to do with this as well. That you might only train for 5 minutes, and you might be inside the gym, and you might go up there for an hour. You know, it's just people have that way of looking. I trained a girl one time, and she trained for 5 minutes, and she put up a post one day that she trained hard to train session for an hour. You know, back then back then you trained hard. You know, and it wasn't as image conscious as it is now.
Yeah, you trained for you, like.
You train for you.
Yeah.
You train for, to get strong, to be more confident in yourself, to have confidence, to look good in clothes. But now it's more image. It's I'll be honest, it's jealousy.
Yeah,
it's got envy. It's gone who's better than who. So you see one guy lifting a weight there in the corner. How come he's lifting that and I'm lifting that? It's that kind of way. Back then it was just more for yourself, and it was more for confidence. But it has gone softer in terms of people training. I mean, if I had people train with me, I train. Yeah, believe me, I would train. I train with high intensity. And yeah, no. If you want to crack, if you want to have a go with me, if you want, I don't mind. Anytime, I'm here.
And just with yourself, you've done you've been in the part of the industry when it was back then, it was all bodybuilding, things like that. Now it's changed to an image kind of based. You have your own Instagram page, Old to New Training. Can you tell us a bit about that?
It's just a thing I wanted to do in terms of trying to get the old school back into the new kind of style that is out there. There's so many exercises out there now. Back then there was only a limited amount of exercise you did. Like I was with the Arnold Schwarzenegger ages, looking at him and a few different guys, but I just wanted to bring kind of new style into it, just to give it a bit of a different kind of a quirk, different way of training, different way of thinking. Because you see guys in gyms coming in, they come in to fix the hair, to fix the top, post on Instagram, whereas I'm in the corner, I'm doing my exercises, right? I'm training away, and I'm going to myself, like, he's doing that wrong.
Yeah,
and you would like to teach him, you show him, and then
people get so insulted when you actually correct them. It's
so
unbelievable. It's that ego, like that.
It's that ego. One story, when I was here one time, when they started here first, there was a guy upstairs, a big guy, and he was doing the weights wrong. He was doing something wrong, and I just stood up and I said, look, just check your form. You got highly insulted, and he kind of get ticked me. He says to me, what the fuck do you know, like? And I said to him, I said one thing, I said,
I forgot about gosh, man.
I says, when you were fucking shitting in your nappies, I said, I'm still training that. I said, don't talk to me about it. I says, it's not an ego thing. So I always say to people, like, leave your fucking ego outside the door. Because you bring an ego and you try to lift heavy weights, by the time you're fucking 40 or 50,
you broke up.
You broke up, like, that way. So my training basically is just trying to bring the old style into the new style, trying to hybrid them. And it's getting good. It's good reviews. Good pay. Good.
Yeah, no, it definitely is, because this is one thing I would say about it. A huge thing is that, like, so you've kind of varied the exercise. So if some person is struggling with a heavy weight or they can't lift a heavy weight, you bring it down to a lower weight, but you make it into an eccentric hole or something like that. And it's just all little adaptations that make a huge difference. Like,
yeah, I mean, I trained yesterday and I trained on Sunday. Today's Tuesday, and my chest is still sore.
yeah,
So, and I didn't use any heavy weights. I haven't bench pressed in.
yeah,
I haven't bench pressed in 2 years.
yeah.
And I still can do the peg dance, alright.
Mr. Terry Crews.
Mr. Terry Crews, hit your heart out, yeah. So look, as I say, it's just about using your imagination. It's about, right, if it's today I'm going to do 4 sets of 10, that doesn't work for me. I'm going to keep on doing that. It's not going to work. You have to change it up, and especially if you get older.
Exactly. Yeah,
just
keep it fresh.
Yeah, you have to keep it fresh. By the time you're 40 or 50, like the muscles will really adapt. Like you have to kind of change it up all the time. That's why I brought in that training as well, just to show people that the older you get, you need to kind of mix things up all the time. And yeah, it's working. Yeah, it's good.
And how did you feel? You were saying that like women weren't allowed in gyms at the time. Was that a rule, or was it just for that gym in particular? And how do you feel it's claimed now that the fact women are really involved in fitness?
I didn't like it. Right, the way I think your man was, he was a bit sexist. To be honest, Joe, he was very narrow-minded guy. He was a bodybuilder himself, but I don't know, was it jealousy with him that he didn't allow women come in because he didn't want to see other guys watching what women were coming in as well. I don't know what it was with him. So it was wrong back then. Now I love seeing it. You know, seeing girls coming in, women coming in training, because the gym is a very intimidating place.
It is. Yeah.
And I tried to promote it. I mean, we before the first lockdown, there was we had, I think there was all women inside the gym around that. I loved it because, you know, it's great to see.
Yeah.
How it's changed, I think women are more into it. They're more body conscious. Not in the way of being like, you know, not vanity or anything, but like it's a good way of showing them, like, you know, that being strong is healthy, and it's more confidence for them as well. So I love seeing women coming in training.
Yeah, I'm the same. I think the fact that you see a lot of our women trainers now promoted, they're even ahead of the men. A lot of them.
I think there's a few. Yeah, there's a few there.
There's a bit of a more balance in power. I think it's really important.
Yeah, it's very important. In terms of even with weights, you know, there's a few girls I follow on Instagram there that, Jesus, the weights they're lifting is incredible. Like.
Oh, there's plenty of them to lift way more than me. Like, it's just a fact. Like,
I have a client, she's 60 years old, and she can lift half, she can lift more than...
That's the one that's squatting 100 kg, is it?
Yeah, that's the woman that's squatting 100 kgs. She's been training for the last nearly 8 years with me.
Yeah.
And she's amazing, being honest, just for what she does. She's great determination. But if you look at her, I think she's 60, like,
yeah.
I think if you look, she's...
They're tough, though, women. They're very resilient, I know it's about them, that's one thing. They're a lot more resilient than lads. Their lads control a little fit about the training, but women really...
They push themselves, They do. I have a few clients now at the moment, and they're really pushing themselves, and I'm just going to myself, if they had the mindset of guys, you know...
Yeah. They'd have wilted by now.
Yeah, they'd have wilted by now, yeah. So, it's great to see.
Yeah, there's one thing I often say to a lot of people, and it's quote by Fred DeVito: if it doesn't challenge you, it won't change you. And that's a huge thing. And like, if you're not going to put in the work, like you're saying, she's there 8 years to work up to that level. People think you just click your fingers. There we go.
My saying is, if you don't put in the effort and time, it's not going to come to you on a silver plate. So you have to put in the effort and time. Everything in life. You know, weights, relationships, studies and all that, you have to put in the effort and time. That's my mom.
What you put into is what you'll...
What you prepare to fail, fail to prepare.
Yeah, exactly, I like that. So just to finish off on fitness itself, what advice would you give to someone, say, starting out thinking about getting into fitness or trying to go into the industry like we are?
Just have a good think about it, because it is saturated. Now, look, everyone is entitled to, you know, being a personal trainer, being a coach, but at the moment it is saturated in terms of, I remember back when I started the first 20 years ago, there was only 3 trainers in North Kerry. There was myself, a guy from Ballyhigh, and Maggie Large. Maggie Large, great trainer for women. That was all that was in it. I mean, I was if someone wanted to go around and extend a stall, it was me, I was going to me. No, they're everywhere. No, and it's not a bad thing, and competition is good. You put in the long hours. Just remember that if you have family, that is going to suffer a small bit. has suffered with me at the start. That I always remember when I see my kids go inside where I have my gym out of my own house, and I see my kids playing, and I was trying to climb them. Do you know, you look and say, is this worth it?
Yeah.
So you have to be more smarter, more cuter about it than, you know, back then. But what I say to people, try it, give it a try, but expect long hours. It's not going to fall into place. Just before I finished up with it, I always remember this guy. He kind of started out in the personal training, and he was kind of this big, he had a big ego. And I met him in the pub one night, and he says to me, well, he says, you know, it's all this stuff, and he says, I'm a personal trainer, and you know, and like this and like that. I says, oh my, I says, big deal, it's a job. It's a fucking job. I said, look, don't go around like that, because I said, your big hate, I said, we get you over. I says, be modest. And I says, be yourself in front of people.
Yeah.
I said, if you're going to be this guy that's going to be, yeah, do you know, I did this and I did that, do you know, I benched this girls and I have 20 clients this week. That's all bragging. That's no good.
Yeah.
That's no good. I say, age with experience, as I say, as I get more experience in it, as I say, you see a lot of things. In terms of tried it, I would try it. If you like it, try it. If you're in the fitness, try it. Give it a go.
Just be yourself, don't put on a false persona, and look after appearance.
Look after your well-being, look after your family, look after your time with your kids as well, because my girls now are 18 and 16, and you remember when you look at this, we're small at the door, and now look at them, they're just walking past you and they're tall as you. It goes like that.
And they're still more mature than you.
Yeah, my oldest is anyway. My oldest is yeah, she's always correct. Look, come here to me. We always have to have one child in the family.
That's true. Have to keep it going. So, in terms of other things that kind of happened in your life, something significant happened in your life like a number of years back. Could you share that with us?
I can. I'll give you a brief story about it. When I was about 20, what age was I? 27, 28 at the time, 2004. I remember the date. I was working as a stonemason at the time, because during that time the gyms were, it wasn't as popular as now, so I kind of went back to stonework. But I was also bouncing, and I was also trained into competition. And I'll always remember one day, I know what I was doing, I was burning candle both ends. But what happened one day was, it was a Friday evening, I always remember it. I was inside Clorgan in the job, I was walking up the hill with tools in hand, the next minute just blacked out. And came around, and I was in an ambulance. And they had all these fucking, sorry, no language. They had all these things hooked up to me, and they were checking my heart. And I woke up, and the man says to me, "You've a problem with your heart, Trev." And I said, "What's wrong with it?" He says, "Look, it's not, and look, we'll get you into the hospital." I blacked out again. I was told inside that my heart stopped. And all I remember is being jolted, no, as I say, it was brought back to life. Do you know what, they had what you call it, shockers on you. And it was due to stress. No, that's what they were saying, it was due to stress. No, I was in hospital for 2 weeks. It was the most stressful time in my life. Liam, my oldest, was just one. Ange was pregnant with Ems, and you know, I was inside the hospital. You know, I was unsure what was going to happen. You know, for that 2 weeks, I was so stressed I lost all my hair. So my hair was falling out, clumps. No, there's this thing in alopecia that comes up in family. But what happened was, the doctor says that if I wasn't so fit, if I wasn't as fit as I was, I would have died. But because the stress in of your heart was alright now, he said, "Come out your hair." So to cut your hair. So I went to specialists about it. No, couldn't do nothing. It's just my hair fell out. I just used to be waking up in the bed, and what the fuck? And I look into the mirror and there's clumps coming out. I was like Joey. I fucking like Joey Tribbiani with friends. I get the hair like that, but it just came out. So I was put on this medication. When I got out of hospital, after coming out, it was like a wall. It was like a wall in front of me that someone was pushing me back all the time. I just couldn't move. It was like a brick wall in front of me. It was a very, very strange feeling. So for the next 3 months, I was in bed. Medication, uncertainty for what was happening, because I had an appointment with a kind of cardiologist in Cork, and it was taking 3 months to get up there. For that 3 months, it was hell. couldn't get out of bed. I'll always remember one day, where we lived at the time, Leah was out the back and she was calling me and she was on the Sims. I couldn't get out of bed. I don't know, I just couldn't raise my head. So what happened was, I had a beer down to there. I was like, Jesus, here. What happened was, Angela, I don't know, was it Angela or was it Angela's friend? I think it was Angela, met a guy, and he was a good friend of mine. I used to do weights with him, and he was a priest. He called up, he says, what the fuck are you doing in bed? I said,
the priest?
It was a priest. And he says, you're not dead, are you? I said, no, I'm not dead. He says, why are you feeling sorry for yourself? I said, I'm not. I said, the medications keep me down, it's marble. And it was too. Get out of the bed. Come on. I'm going to bring you down to the bars and I'm going to get your beer cut off. And after that, he says, what won't kill you will make you stronger.
Yeah.
So there's my motto. If anyone wants to see my tattoo, that's what I have there. And I also have a date on it as well.
Yeah, some story.
So when I went into hospital, it was Maybank Holiday weekend. It was 30th of April, and when I woke up out of hospital, it was the 1st of May. My heart stopped in between, sometime in between midnight.
And your life must have flashed to
I didn't know because I didn't know because I was unconscious. I didn't see no white light, lads. Don't worry. I didn't see nothing. It was just blank. But it's frightening. Frightening. For the trip, especially the 3 months afterwards, I was depressed. I was severely depressed. Lost my hair. Didn't know what was wrong. Was going on with me with the cardiologist. Look, I'm still here. Still fighting.
And with the date, what
The
date?
31st I wrote down. There's no 31st of April. There's 30 days, that's September, April, May and November. So I have a tattoo there, 31st of the 4th. I was nowhere, so that's why I put the date on. So just to let people know that you can't take life too seriously. Because you'll be gone in the morning.
31st of April, Trevor Horan.
Yeah, so that's what it is, yeah. That's why I put it down. So I was somewhere in between the 30th and the 1st of May. Crazy story, isn't it?
Some story, man.
Yeah, and it has affected me. No, what I have is it's very, very mild. But what was causing was stress was causing it to make it worse.
Yeah.
It was stress, and it was just the worry of the uncertainty of lying ahead. Like it is now, like, with the COVID, you know what's going on. It's just that it just opened up my way of thinking small but different, that life, you can't treat life seriously. Life is there to be living. We're only here for a short while, like, so live it.
Yeah.
And that's my motto since. So I wake up every day
Grateful
that I'm here, that I can wake up, my eyes open, and I can see my kids. I can do my bit of training. I can train my clients, and I can, stay focused and be grateful. That's my gratitude I have, yeah.
Like you said there, it was like there was someone pushing you literally when you were walking. Has it, like, since then, has it impacted your day-to-day life? Have you had an episode since? What?
I was in holidays 4 or 5 years ago. I think it was the heat that caused it that time. I think I was dehydrated. With this thing, you have to stay hydrated. You have to mind yourself. I wasn't minding myself. I was still going to the gym, but I think just the day that happened to me, I think there was certain more factors came in. So the heat came in, the dehydration came in. And I think that's what caused it as well. No, it was only very, very mild that caused it. But with the brick wall in front of me, I'll always remember my dad, God mercy his soul, he was walking up the road with me, and my dad was sitting down, like, and he says, he was looking at me and he was shut eyes. I was walking very, 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 very slowly. He says, I said, I can't walk. I said, there's something pushing me back all the time. It was, I don't know what it was. I don't know it was the medication. I don't know it was just, I was stressed out, the body was recovering. If you see a picture of me on the 1st of January 2004, I was 17.5 stone. I was good shape, full head of hair. And on the 1st of January 2015, I went down to 13 stone. So I lost 4 stone of muscle. My hair was gone, but it's only hair. But I was a totally different person.
A shell of
what I was. Yeah, that happened, And it's a secret I have. I don't tell anyone. I don't tell anyone because you look at personal trainers, you look at coaches. You think that you look at them for inspiration. Say, "Right, look, he's fit." You don't think that nothing's going to happen. But I was reading a very good article. This woman has it. She's a swim instructor, and she claps in front of her class, and she had it as well.
Really?
Yeah, she had it. She was in the swimming class and she had it, and she claps and she has it under control. You know, it can be kept under control. It's a very very easy thing to keep under control if you try to mind yourself back.
Of course. Yeah. And in terms of now your training and things like that, have you had to make adjustments to it, or is it just you're okay since then? Like,
I'm okay. I have to do more cardio. Like, look, the older you get, you have to do cardio anyway because you have to keep your heart healthy. But I just have to. My doctors always tell me to back off the weights, which I have, as I told you earlier on, that I don't lift heavy anymore, and it's one for my heart as well, for my joints as well. But no, in terms of I do more cardio. I do a bit of meditation. I meditate nearly every morning, for about 10 minutes. I just get up, drink a glass of water, go and meditate, put on my meditation music, and it clears the head for the day.
yeah.
And it's something that I have to keep on doing. I'll have to keep on doing it. Like I can't stop this, because if I stop it,
It's part of
this thing could come back and crawl back into my life again. So, but I have been I talked to a few people now. I had a client that had it. She had it way worse than me, and I know a guy that had it as well, and he was way worse. And they're dealing with it. But I kind of shared my story with them that you kind of looked at me, you're a trainer. Oh, how come you just should be knocking on the
invincible. Like.
You're invincible.
Yeah.
We're not. We're only fucking flesh and blood like everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not, so things are going to happen, but
It motivates you, I reckon.
it does motivate me, yeah.
It gives you that always the focus to.
Always keep this focus, like, and as the years go on as well, being a gym instructor, you have to keep up with the kids, like. You have to keep up with the 20-year-olds, like.
The tearaways, like.
You have to keep up. You have to keep up with the guys, like, because you can't be seen. Look, I know another guy. Look, before I finish up this, I know another guy with cancer. He was a personal trainer in Dublin. He was a down-there guy. He had thousands of clients. He had cancer, right? And he got questioned one day, how come you have thousands, this guy who was a muscle-bound guy, how come you have thousands of clients? And myself, I said, just what you get is what you see. And that's my motto as well. What I am is what you see.
Yeah.
Like. There's no error. I'm not.
Yeah, there's no
There's no faults, there's no high, there's no low. It's just me.
Yeah. It's just amazing to talking about depression things. The stats on depression in Ireland are absolutely ridiculous.
Especially
450,000 people in Ireland experience depression.
Yeah. It is an awful disease.
It's 1 in 10 people.
Yeah, it is an awful disease, and I know a few people that have it as well. It's a crippling disease, and it's not people's fault. It's just
exactly.
It's not our fault.
But you look at Ireland, and there's a few stats here. I have to just look at them and call them out. But in 2014, young people between the age of 15 and 24, we had the highest rate of depression in Europe, at 12% of people within that age range.
It's crazy.
It's unbelievable.
I know it's a lot got to do with the weather, and it's got a lot to do with the drink culture as well. I think that more emphasis should be brought into it in Ireland. That it should be ramped up more. That it should be the physical health of people. The way things have gone with physical, the mental health side should be ramped up as well. The same. I try to promote on my page as much as possible. Even during the COVID times at the moment, even like you look out the weather today, it's raining. We're restricted level 5 lockdown, and most of my clients at the moment are down.
Yeah.
Everyone is down. Everyone's down. So but it's not our fault. This is not our fault. And I'll remember that. But you could. There is help out there. It's talk. Go on the phone, talk to. If you haven't got any relations or anything like that. But it's great to talk. It's great to just get it off your chest. I'm a firm believer that if you hold stuff in, that it manifests in later life, in illness. That I know a few people now that has something's happened or things have happened, and and it has manifested in later life, that in cancer, in and strokes and stuff like that, and you have to get something off your chest,
A problem shared is a problem halved.
Problem shared happened. I mean, my dad died there 2 years ago, and it was and Angela always said that grief doesn't come to your door until you know it yourself. So you don't know what grief feels like until it happens yourself. And I couldn't deal with it, so I had to get help. I had to go to, I had to go to fucking counselling about it. I had to go to grieving counselling. I had to have a chat with him, you know, and he gave me the tools to cope with it.
Yeah.
You know, it'll always be there, but like, I'm coping a bit better with it now, like, you know.
That's good.
It was kind of a traumatic time in my life as well, you know, when that happened as well. So, no, I have the tools and I have the kind of the skills to just to deal with it a bit better than normal, like. But we're all human. It's going to happen to us all. So
there are so many people that can't cope. Like it's
crazy. Yeah.
Like, people are committing suicide at unbelievable rates. Like if just have a few figures here, like in Connecting for Life in Ireland is aim to reduce suicide rate. Now we have reduced it. It's gone from 516 in 2016 to 421 in 2019. It's still too high. And when you look at it, would you think there's a higher suicide rate for men or women?
I think it's even at the moment.
It's actually men, and it's by 4 times the amount.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
So of the 516 in 2016, 400 and something.
I suppose men don't talk. That's what it is. It comes down to that.
I don't talk. I promote all this thing, but I don't trust anyone to talk to them. That's not right. Do you know?
Coming up to when I was in my 20s and when I was in my early 20s, late 20s, and into my 30s, since when I got that thing, you know, you can get 2 words out of me.
Yeah.
If something happened to me, I bottle it. Bottle it. But it has to change. Men have to open up to, like, right, if there's a problem, you have to do something about it. It's going to eat you. And if it eats you too much, it's going to cause, you're going to have these negative thoughts, and it's going to lead to fucking suicide. And it has affected me in ways. I have 1 or 2 people that, 2 mates that have committed suicide, like, and they never talked, they never opened up, they never had, you know, men don't do that. It's just a macho thing. You know, it's a hard man thing, like, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Show weakness.
Show weakness. Come here, look.
It's not weakness.
It's not weakness.
It's a lot braver to talk, actually.
It is, yeah. You've more strength to talk.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, and that's why it's good to talk. Believe me, it's good to talk out there.
Just in that note, guys, anyone that has lost anyone through suicide or mourns anyone, friend, family, anything like that, just know that any people are here, myself, Trevor, like that. If you want someone to talk to, make sure I get onto this. And those that have been lost, people still mourn from. I just remember that always. Just on that note, we better move on a small bit because we'll be taking too much time. On a more positive note, diet is something very important in your life.
It is.
You started doing competitions, you were saying, years back. How did you so diet is a massive thing with that. How did you learn about diet? Were you working with someone or was it reading up on it?
It was reading up on it, and it was, I had a mate of mine as well that was into it. But there was a lot of prep in it. And when I did it was very, very hard, and it did affect me afterwards. And how it affected me afterwards was, the only reason I say this is because I was so strict, and I didn't even place in the competition, you know, and I was going, what was it fucking for, like? I was eating Mars bars, and buying boxes and boxes of Mars bars. Afterwards.
Okay, so the adjustment period was very difficult.
It was very, very hard, and I was finding wrappers, and how did I eat them? That wasn't me, like. And after I did the competition, I ballooned up. I mean, I ballooned up like I put on fat, like I put on weight. You know, I mean, I was ripped, and I put on weight afterwards. It was just a psychological of the hardest. So what I always say to my clients like that, don't go too hard on yourself. Look, be yourself for 6 days, and then have a fucking meal, have a cheat meal. Yeah. Because it up there. To stay like that 24/7, you know, we're not going to win trophies. We're not going to be going on the beaches.
It's different when you're an elite athlete and you have all the supports available to you, and you have people there that are doing it for you, and everything is tailored for you. Yeah. Like, but when you're on your own there, it's very, very hard. And you say, right, I'm going to cut this. Instead of having that, I'm going to get rid of all this. Say, okay, I can have this as an alternative, and it's still making me feel that I'm not completely just. You know,
it was a crazy time, I'll be honest with you. What I was eating was just chicken, broccoli and rice. That's all I was eating.
But back then, like that time, there wasn't a lot of science behind it.
No,
all that,
there wasn't. It was just pure strict. There was no science behind it. There was, you know, it was just get into it, get it done, and you know, compete and compete. If you I compete just to see how I would get on. I never placed. You know, I was disappointed. But then you were up against guys that were on the all juicy.
Are you glad you did?
I'm glad I did it.
Yeah.
I used to be walking the town and people thought I was on it.
Yeah.
I'm totally against it, like.
Yeah.
Do you know?
People say that though. I'm joking.
No, I'm totally against it. It's like a roll of dice, right? You've six, right? Say cancer, whatever thing is on, do you know, whatever's on the dice. You roll it. I feel great when happening. Down the line it happens.
Yeah.
I have mates that put pressure on me in my 20s to take it. I never took it. And I see them now, they have major medical comp.
Well, it's even up in the mind, like,
yeah.
You know, the depressive symptoms that come with it are just, I'd say.
I'll tell you a quick story before we finish that. There was this guy, actually it was the bodybuilder that was started off with me when I said the story when I was 16, and he was Mr. Arnold. He was on gear, like he was on steroids. And I was walking up town on Monday, I met him, I was going to work in the Abbey, I was bouncing, and he was walking down me. Walked through, actually was during the Rose of Tralee, and just the place was crowded. The next thing I did was walking on, boom, hit this fella. I said to him, hey! What you doing?
Just hit around with it.
Yeah. What you doing? I don't know. Steroids, messed with his head.
Yeah. Up and down so much, like.
It was a right rage, like, he just saw a fella, looked at him, boom, man's jaw was cracked open.
It's crazy.
And he ran. And I had to call an ambulance, I had to call the garage man, and I said, I don't know, did I? I said, I'd seen a random person with it, like, because that guy, he was massive, he was also dangerous as well, and, you know, I don't want to be saying no names or not, but it was...
He could turn on you easily.
He could turn on you easily, yeah, very easily, yeah. I could tell you stories, I could sit down here for 2-3 hours, tell you stories about guys and steroids and what they've done and what they haven't done, and you know, that is.
But it's at the highest level, like it's in boxing, crazy, like everywhere. It's just
everywhere now. It's everywhere.
The access is too easy.
Yeah, I mean, I go deep in the morning and get it in here tomorrow morning. So it's that easy, like.
We'll have a podcast just purely talking about all the roads.
It's so easy, and the amount of again we go back to the vanity and the jealousy of guys. One guy's bigger than another. I want to get as big as him. So what do I need to do? I need to take steroids. I need to get as big as him. So I want to do. I want to be bigger than him. And it's the mindset of young fellas these days as well. They don't know. They don't realise that down the line. Yeah. Again, it's like the throw of the dice.
The big picture is never seen.
Yeah. So.
100%. Just on diet, the one question that I hate being asked, right? Get the whole, is this good for me? Is this bad for me? I'm just like, oh my god, it's not a question. It's not my vocabulary. Like there's so many variables at play. When are you training that day? What have you already eaten previously? Yeah. What calorie count do you need to be in? Like it's just like they don't realise it's not good or bad. It's good for you or good for me.
Yeah, it's good for yourself. Look, last night I got a message last night asking me to calculate calories for a woman. And I calculated it from, because she's a client of mine, and then she asked me about 20 questions afterwards, and I said, look, I want you healthy eating.
Yeah.
Look, it's your weight is going down, it's just healthy eating. People are too focused now, there's too much stuff out there on Instagram, social media platforms that, you know, you see this girl here, she's on it, she's promoting this. And she might be good for her, but it might be good for you.
Exactly, yeah.
And she might be only promoting that because she's probably getting a few quid for it.
Mm-hmm.
And she's probably not taking it herself. And I give you a quick example. I know a girl that did a promotion for, she got this protein powder, and she went in front of the camera and she was going, it's lovely. I mean, the camera stopped. Spell it out. This is rotten. Rotten, she said. So, what's good for you is it's balanced. You have to have balanced diet. I mean, I'm plant-based.
Yeah, I was just going to say, you got vegan yourself.
I'm plant-based for the year. It was hard to start, but I see benefits like more energy. It generally is very, very good. I started to put up kind of stuff on my Facebook page, and my Instagram page, just to kind of give my experience over the year of it. it's very hard when we do go out to eat. You know,
Yeah, it's not actually completely available everywhere, is it? Like,
I mean, like I used to be going out and we used to be eating salads. And I used to be starving.
yeah,
Like,
exactly. Yeah.
give me a rice or give me a bean burger or give me a kind of a plant-based burger. Give me it in a minute, but if I pass a chip or no, if I get the smell of chips, you can eat chips. So you can eat chips. Give me Mamma Mia's. You can eat all them. You know, that's plant-based still. It's the eye though.
Yeah.
It's the eye, whatever the eye. But it is. I feel better. I have more energy
And from your experience, like people always say, oh, you lose muscle mass, things like that. There's a lot of studies in that show you don't lose muscle mass. There's a real divide. From your experience, what was it like in that department?
At the start, I lost a bit of weight. I took a picture of myself last year. I'm the same weight. I'm the same weight. I've dropped body fat. I think I put on more muscle, I'll be honest with you.
Okay.
To look at it, I think I've again
more defined. Like.
more defined. Yeah, I think I'm more defined, more in shape. In terms of it's the protein intake, because what plant-based diet is more. It's more carbohydrates. It's more rice and more kind of potatoes and stuff like that. So your diet is more carbohydrate based. But you can change that. There is stuff out there that you can still go protein like. So I kind of take a kind of a pea protein, and I take kind of soy yogurts and stuff like that. So it does bring up my protein intake. So I'm not losing any muscle mass. And studies have shown that actually yesterday, look, you man who won the tennis, Djokovic's plant-based.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and he said that he's some athlete, and he said that look, guys, they're not promoting it. Look, everyone has their own to their own like, but I find this things have changed. Even my missus, you know, we've done it, and a few people that I've been talking to, one or two clients has changed as well, and they are finding it beneficial as well. In the long run, it's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger, because you can see more shops around the store, around the place that there's more plant-based stuff coming in. So there's a market. Yeah. So there's a market for stuff, and it is getting bigger. At the start, last year was only a few things like that, all right, but all of a sudden it is growing business, and it will.
Do you think it'll fade out?
I don't think so.
I don't either. I think it's one of those that will stay, really.
I think it'll stay. I think it's going to. I mean, the stocks in the States at the moment, the meat stocks are going down, and the plant-based stocks are going up. So people are kind of changing. Look, it's good for the environment as well. Like, you know, it's for every quarter pound you're eating, you're killing a cow. For every burger you're eating, plant-based burger, you're killing nothing. Like, you know, it's coming from the ground. Like, so cholesterol's gone down. Cholesterol's dropped. I have an ulcer in my stomach. That doesn't play up me anymore. I have more energy. I'm not as tired as I was. I'm not as sluggish. I don't bloat anymore. I
find red meat zaps me.
Yeah, red meat. It takes a lot of red meat takes about 2 or 3 days for your body to digest.
Yeah. Like I had steak yesterday at 2 o'clock yesterday, and I came in here. I did my class at 7 o'clock. Before the class, I actually felt sick. And not because I was nervous about the class. Like, you know, I wouldn't care about the class, but like, I could feel I was so heavy. Like,
I had a shake this morning. I had almond milk. I had a pea protein. I had blueberries and a spoon of peanut butter. So that was my breakfast this morning, and it's grand. No bloatiness, and I feel pretty good. Like, so it's just plant-based is good. Look, it's not for everyone, but it is going to get bigger, and benefits outweigh the negative side of it. So it's the way to go. It's going to go that way for a long, long time, I say.
You're an endorser then?
I'll be endorsed. I'll be an influencer.
So if you could just give 3 quick tips for anyone to do with their diet, 3 quick tips on just diet in general, what would that be?
Don't focus on the scales. Don't be too hard on yourself in terms of don't be going too strict. And food wise, if something is bad for you and you're eating too much of it, you know yourself in the back of your mind is bad for you, you have to cut it back. Simple as that.
Self-awareness,
a
bit of self-awareness.
It's a bit of self-awareness, just that you know it's bad and you keep on eating it. Just get rid of it. What I do with my clients is, if anything's there, what you see is what. If it's in front of you, you eat it, and out of sight, out of mind. it's not there,
Yeah.
you do go from there to your options. So
Anything you've talked about in the back of the press.
yeah, Christmas Cambrys or whatever, that stuff. Yeah.
Even there. Right, we're near the end. So the last part of the show, we always bring in a bit of the watch weekly that I did before Christmas.
Okay.
So my first question is, do you think conflict is a good thing or a bad thing?
The good thing is, in terms of it opens people's opinions. Once it doesn't go over, once it doesn't get heated.
Yeah, the manner of it is important, I think.
The matter of it is important. Once it's kept under control, conflict is good, and it is good in terms of people's thoughts that they can interchange them. So conflict is good.
Yeah. I think it comes back to the thing, you know, the way we talked about it previously, like if you keep things bottled up, it's just going to keep building and building, and the next thing it'll come to the surface and boils over. Like.
It's going to boil over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, at least if you talk about it, you keep the matter controlled.
Yes.
Both it's amicable, you're listening. I think listening is the most important part of conflict.
Mm-hmm.
It's not what you say, it's what
you hear.
Yeah.
Especially with depression as well. Don't go back to that. Like, listen to people, listen to their problems. You know.
And we don't do it well enough, all of us. I could safely admit that I don't listen enough. Like, I've tried and I've improved at it, but it's still not there to the point that...
It's a personal training thing as well over the years, that it's not about you. And it's about the client, it's about the person, so you have to listen to them. You have to, and 80% is listening to them, like, what they want. So it's the same with it's the same important stuff on, you have to listen, like, you have to listen to the person. You can't share their problems. They're confining you to talk about the problem, so you can't talk about your problem. So that's another place.
Yeah.
You know, so
100%. Then, do you think estimations are okay, or do we always need exact numbers?
Estimations, okay.
Okay.
Overthinking, no. You know, always estimate a problem,
Yeah.
or estimate a number, no. I think being too exact, we're only, as I say, I always go back to, like, if we estimate everything, life would be boring. I mean, sorry, if you
Make everything exact. Like.
make everything exact, life is going to be boring. Always estimate. You know.
I think, like, to a point, fine. But say if you're going to the elite level in the sport or something like that, you need to, tailor something to the point of...
To that,
you know, it does. But in general life, someone that's not, trying to make a specific weight by a specific time, there's no need to...
No, you're not going to win trophy. We're not elite athletes.
Yeah.
You just want to feel good. Estimation and
I'll give you an exact example. When I was coming back from my first cruise ship, I had told myself, I remember Ibrahimovic gets all the help in the world, an elite athlete, everything in his favour, got the surgery immediately, no wait and delay and all that. He came back in 6 months from his ACL, and I just had this thing in my head, I'm going to beat him. I didn't give a shit, I'm beating him. I don't care, I'm beating him. And I had this figure in my head, it's like, I'm making it 5 months. Not factoring in the fact that I didn't get my surgery till 3 months after. I also required 2 bouts of surgery instead of 1, because I also tore my meniscus, LCL and MCL with it. And then you go to the point that you get back and you break down afterwards.
Yeah.
What, to be the hero for yourself?
No. Look, as I say, end of the day, I did my cruise ship when I was 16, and it still plays up me, like.
If you don't look after it.
If you don't look after it, like, I mean, I look after it, but I know guys in football when they were 16, 17 had to get back surgery. I'm like, well, the football team are gone, like. They don't care. These footballers at the moment with these surgeries, they're getting paid. They're getting endorsements. They're selling their jerseys. That's why they want. That's why the club wants to make get the best medical team to come in and fix these things straight away. So we must remember that we're not. We can do all you do your best, but these athletes have people around them.
Exactly.
Everywhere.
Support is the massive thing.
Massive thing. Yeah.
100%. Last one on that is, do people express themselves to impress others or to progress?
Impress.
All.
I think it's with the society we live in at the moment. It's to impress people. I think it's an Irish. I've been honest with you, it's an Irish thing.
Yeah, I get that.
The big car, the big house, the jewellery, the bags, the brands.
Look at me, I'm a wannabe American.
Yeah, it's a it's not a Kardashian thing, but it's people look at you. If you don't have the big car outside, if you don't have the house, they don't look at you that you do well for yourself. That doesn't matter.
Doing well is being happy, man. That's what I say.
At the end of the day, we're all going to 6 foot underground. That's the end of the day, like, and it comes down to simple as that. It doesn't matter if you have the best of clothes. At the end of the day, we're going to die, we're going to get 600. I'm not being bad about it, but, you know.
I think it personally comes down to one specific variable. It's whether what you're impressing or what you're expressing is internal or if it's external. So if it's internally motivated, you're doing it for you, and it's something that's benefiting you and you're expressing that to the world, I think that's fine. But when you're doing something that's externally motivated because someone else is doing or someone else believes that's good and you're trying to, I think that's trying to impress people.
Yeah, there's a self-esteem issue there somewhere,
Yeah.
big time.
100%.
Down the line there, it's definitely an Irish thing because I don't see that anywhere else in the world.
Yeah.
You know, it's crazy. I don't know, cannot be anything, but it is like it's an Irish thing.
So many things are Irish things, I think.
Yeah. So many things.
Yeah. Right, we're nearly there. It's been an absolute pleasure. My last little question for you is, if you give 3 overall well-being tips for any of the listeners, what would you say to them?
Well-being, talk first anyway is the first one. Okay, very important. Second of all, exercise, look after it. Exercise is very good for mental health.
It's powerful, isn't it?
It's massive. I know even a rainy day like this now today, like, you know, I want to get a workout done because you look up to doom and gloom, it looks, at least the workout perk you up a bit.
Do you know what actually kills me? It's the not doing the workout. I feel lazy, I feel useless, and like, why can't I do that, you know, and that just gets me down after. So when I do it then I'm like,
yeah, it's great for you. And people, I always say to clients, it's not doing the workout, it's getting up off your arse, or getting off this couch and just getting it done, to do it. There's the hard part. Yeah. Do you know, I'll go and bother, I procrastinate and I'll do something else. Yeah. But in the day, the day is gone, I feel like shit.
Yeah, exactly.
And you know, it is great. And look, it is. Studies have shown that exercise is for your mental health, for your physical health. Just we don't realise how good it is for us. So, the third one, so I said talk. I said exercising for mental health. I suppose the third one as well is spending time with loved ones. You know, if a person does, if a person, I'm going to phrase this now. All I say is look after loved ones and spend time with them because they don't be around forever. Yeah. You know. So that's a very important thing as well. So there's your 3.
There you go. Take those on board, though, guys.
So nice.
Trevor, it's been an absolute pleasure, man. Thanks a million for coming on. It was absolutely wonderful listening to you, and some of the stories you shared were just absolutely fantastic. So thanks very much for that. For the rest of you guys, we'll catch you in a bit, and thanks for watching.
Bye, guys.